role in the development of their community. For 12 years, author Alex Haley labored on a novel that soon after its publication became the fastest-selling book in America. It is entitled Roots. A relatively unknown author before this book, his name is now known to millions. Roots is a monumental work that traces Haley's ancestry back 7 generations. During 9 years of exhaustive research, Haley took trips to Africa and found the village in the Gambia where his ancestor was captured, then sent to America as a slave over 200 years ago.
What this book, in essence, supplies is the history of black people, which has long been a missing element. It has been obscured, distorted, so forth. And black people have not been characterized by being proud of their heritage, because how are you going to be proud of an image where you are led to believe your people were savages or something of that nature?
He's written a book. It's called Roots. It's the saga of a people, and as he puts it, saga of a family.
This book actually brings up the cultural history, how in fact sophisticated the African culture was back at the time when Africans were being taken as slaves. The past few months.
Haley helped to finance his research by lecturing and has spoken to well over 2 million people in the past decade.
I find myself now looking at other people, particularly black people, with a historical overview. I wonder what village did his ancestor live in, or her ancestor? What ship were they brought on? Where did it land? Which plantations? On up to that individual. I just wish Grandma could be here and see it, because it's the reason I'm here is because she told me things that she did.
I only know this one thing.
Haley served as a consultant on the production of the motion picture version of Roots. The television premiere on 8 consecutive nights attracted the largest audience in the history of the medium.
For 20 years, I was in the U.S. Coast Guard, and it was while I was a sailor that I became a writer. I taught myself to write over about 12 years, really, from the time I began. So the love of the sea is very deep in me, and I still love to write at sea. That's my most preferable writing location.
Alex Haley recently returned to Henning, Tennessee, the small town where he grew up and where he first became interested in his family's roots.
It's a little town 50 miles north of Memphis, Tennessee. I read in the paper there were 600-some people in it now. The boyhood I knew there in Henning was very warm, loving, embracing in terms of the community around one. This home was the one that was built by my grandfather around 1920. I used to sit every summer evening on that front porch, and my grandmother sat in that white rocking chair, and she told the stories about the family which went back across generations to the original African who had been brought on a ship into Annapolis. And then, about 1873, the family were a part of a wagon train that came from Alamance County, North Carolina, to Henning, Tennessee. Henning might look to somebody else to be a little dusty town sitting on the side of a road that has been cut off, in fact, from the main highway. But I can assure you that Henning is abuzz with things that are locally going on. There's no condemnation in the soul today. There's no condemnation in the soul today. I think one of the luckiest things that ever happened to me in the world was that I was brought up in a Henning. Somehow, it really doesn't impress me as that I have done all this much. I really feel rather as if I am a conduit, a passageway through which it has been elected, chosen, appointed, that through me would pass something that would be of value, hopefully, to the whole world. We are becoming a kind of insular, youth-oriented society. What we are suffering from in lots of ways is a sense of rootlessness. We need so much to go to the older people in our families and ask them, tell us whatever they can about our families. All too often they pass away, at which instant everything they know becomes utterly irretrievable. And it may have been priceless, you'll never know.